Hey everybody, Scout Crafter here again, back on the air. Did you miss me on Friday? Sorry about that, but I had a heck of a week here. First, let me tell you what happened. You know, we had that tropical storm, hurricane slash whatever it was. It was moving up the coast, and I knew it's always problems. Like I said before, at this time of year, when you have either heavy rain or you have high winds, when the leaves are on the trees, it's just too much drag for the branches to handle, and they usually wind up snapping, or trees come down, and that's exactly what happened. We have a lot of older trees here in Queens. I have two 100-year-old plus maples, well past what they should be. So you remember that last year I had a bunch of them taken down, and because of Hurricane Sandy, I said, I don't want to deal with this. So anyway, it doesn't matter. One of the branches, well, let me tell you what happened. The winds kicked up, and I've seen winds before, but this was scary winds. Even my friend Bobby was saying, boy, I've never seen wind blow the rain sideways and almost like evaporate when it hit the street. It was really some crazy winds from different angles. And because of that, a lot of trees in my town, over 100, toppled. But one of my branches from my old maple tree snapped, and it landed on top of the high tension wires. And we went through this before, you know, thousands of volts, you know, but it didn't do anything. So I was like, oh, so I called Con Ed and said, look, you know, it's going to be a problem. It's laying on those wires, but you know, they were busy with dealing with other things. And sure enough, 4:30 in the morning that night, 4:30 in the morning, I was like, you know, we still had power. Everything was good, just getting ready to go to bed and winding down. And all of a sudden I heard that most incredible, scary sound that you would hear, and it just racked, and the blue lights were shining, you know, and I went outside, and then everything went dead. 3 blocks, 4 blocks went dead because of that branch up there. But anyway, they came, and it took 4 days for them to get here, you know, and I'll tell you, you know, New York summers aren't too comfortable. There's not a lot of breeze around here with all the buildings and whatnot. It was just miserable. And I feel bad. I got an older cat who was used to the air condition, and now, you know, she was like, what's going on? So anyway, I made it through. And a couple things I want to tell you about that, because of my experiences, you know, as a camper and, you know, as a scout leader for a long time. I want to tell you a few things that made it durable. You know, I didn't even have a generator, a nice Honda generator. Didn't even bother starting it up because, you know, it's only well, how long could it be? A week? You know, and you're going to lose the stuff in the refrigerator. So what am I going to do? I'm going to spend $40 in gas to save $20 in groceries. It just don't pay. Anyway, let me show you some things that makes your life easier if you ever go through this. Now, what you're looking at here is the collateral damage of what happened when that tree hit the wires and shorted it out. It's very akin to a lightning strike. And here's the issue. Everything that was on blew out. Every light bulb, every appliance, you know, I had a lot of damages, and even blew out like my porch light here. And the funny thing about this porch light is that and you could see the damage in there, you could see the arcing. But years ago when I bought this actually because I was going to do a project upstate. I bought a bunch of these, and they were on sale. Normally they were like $4 or something like that. Here, $4.99. Pergament. Who remembers Pergament? They were like $4.99, but then they were marked down again. It was like $2 each. So I bought like a case of them or something. I said, just the globe alone I could use, you know. But I bought it for some reason, and one day my porch light burnt out, so I put one of these on. So, you know, and actually it's nice because when you have a duplicate, all you have to do is remove the 2 screws and everything fits up. You don't have to, you know, put all the ends. But it burnt out the socket in here. You could see what it did to the LED bulbs. The LED bulbs, look at here. Look at this. You split up, cracked open, because thousands of volts traveled so fast. It blew all the circuit breakers, but it's not fast enough to catch the electricity. And that's why you need a good surge protector outlet strip. If you have any of those, get a good one. That has a good relay on it. I have an old-fashioned Radio Shack one that's fantastic, but my cheap one burnt out. Look at what it did to the bulb. Look what it did to this bulb. Totally blew it out here. And you could see, you know, and no problem. I mean, as long as And I always like to buy UL listed bulbs. You can see here the UL listing, but you know, it blew it out or whatever. I have no problem as long as it don't start a fire. But that smell of electric smoke was when. Here's some more UL bulbs I like, and these blew out, and this one here, this is the one I use on my porch, and this when I buy stuff, I buy 2 or 3 at a time. This Philips Dusk to Dawn, it's got a sensor in it. And, you know, if I'm not here, if I'm upstate or something, the light turns on. I've had this in there. This particular bulb was in there for years, 5, 6 years. I don't even know if they make these anymore. But this thing, it's LED. It's really good. Worked really well. This is the sensor that turns on and off. But you can see here the damage from the the electrical strike, or from the shorting. All my lamps that were on, if they had an inline switch, fried them. And that's why I picked up, actually, I always save old stuff. I have a switch here that I'm going to replace, but look at this switch. If you see the inside of this switch, it's so beautiful compared to these garbage switches, you know. This is good old-fashioned American made, probably Bakelite, made in Leviton. My buddy Bobby used to work there. And beautiful switch. And this here, this switch is, you know, has a lot to be desired. But the big thing that blew out in my house was my air conditioning. Now, you know, it happened to be on. It's the big unit, like 15,000 BTU. And you could see here the fuse. You can see it's even an unusual fuse. But I was able to pull the panel out, take a look at it. And I see the fuse is toast. And so is this little varista here, and I'll tell you about that. This is why I love YouTube so much, because I didn't even know about this boy until just recently. This is called a zinc oxide varista, and what it is they put this in line in circuit with a fuse, and this will, if you have any high voltage spikes like I did, this will take the hit. And it really did take the hit. You know, obviously the fuse blew, but this one too, you could see it's all, you know, burnt up. But I'm going to try and order it before I try and pull out the air conditioner and try and replace it. I'm going to try and replace the fuse, and if that works, I'm lucky. If not, I got a junk. Now, a couple things I highly suggest that you get if you don't already have, and that's, you know, obviously a couple surge protectors that if you have your electronics, your delicate electronics, your TV, your computer, things like that, get a good surge protector. You know, the dollar store things, forget about them. You got to, that's the only thing you really have to, they're not expensive, $10, $15, you get a good one. Get a good surge protector to protect some of your electronics. And the other thing is that this is called a power bank. And I'll tell you something, this really helped me out a lot, because what this is, it's a high capacity power bank, this one here. And you can see here it's 20,000 milliamps. And what's nice about this is I've been on my phone, you know, trying to see what's going on and things like that. And obviously it's all black. There's nothing, no internet or anything. So my phone was my lifeline to everybody. And this thing lasted for 4 days. It charged my phone up. So, you know, it's really a fantastic investment. Get one of these, a decent one, a power bank. I like Anker, A-N-K-E-R. They make a lot of great products and things like that for that kind of stuff. And here's another thing. You ever see one of these? It's a light socket to a plug. These are available everywhere. But what's nice about this is you take any light bulb, a small light bulb, you screw it into here, and now you're going around checking. You don't know what outlets have been blown out, whatever. And you can come up here like this and you could press it in. You could get instant, you know, without having any test meters or anything. And this is a good thing to have around the house. You know, years ago, this was a big thing everybody had. Every do-it-yourselfer had one of these. Definitely something to have. The funny thing is, the last time we had a blackout here like this was 1977. 1977. I remember... you know, I was new in Scouts, and I was, you know, prepared, and we had to go. And I remember one of my Scout leaders, Mr. Wexler, he was, after a couple days, you know, they had to get rid of all your stuff in the freezer. So everybody was having big barbecues and cookouts, and we were eating good back then for like a week. Everybody was making it because you didn't want to lose it, right? And you couldn't, there wasn't enough ice. All the ice places were sold out. So you had to cook it. You had to eat it. And just like me, I was cooking, I had 18 eggs I had to get rid of. And, you know, how many eggs can you eat in one? So the raccoon was eating good that night. Anyway, I remember also in '77 the looting that went on, because this, the blackout we just had now was sporadic, so it wasn't all over. But when the whole city goes out, that's when all the animals come out. It's like it goes back to the back to prehistoric days. It was like, it's every man for himself. Next up, I want to show you a product that, I'll tell you something, this really has saved me more times than I want to admit. I bought this for upstate because, I don't have any running water upstate, or I don't have any electricity upstate. So I bought this because, look, when you're camping, especially in the cold, you want a hot shower, and this is just perfect. And I'll tell you, this saved me again this time. I love taking a hot shower before I go to bed or something, especially in the wintertime. Let me show you what's involved with this. This is a ZODI portable hot shower. Everything you see here comes packed in this nice case, and let me show you what's in the case. Now, you could buy this portable shower with or without the heating element. I bought it with the heating element, and what it is, it's a strong steel ring with three legs that just easily pop on. You can see here they just pop on, and this is the burner section. And you put a propane tank, one of the short, stubby propane tanks on here, and that'll heat up your tank. So this is a nice unit to have, especially if you have, just you want the shower alone. But what I do is because I use it when you're at home like I use it, what I do is I take a gallon of regular tap water, and then I heat up a gallon of water on the stove in the kettle, and I pour it in, and Bob's your uncle. Now, if you notice here, first of all, it's hard to get everything in view, so I'll take it in sections. But on the side here, it says Extreme SC here. Can you see that? Extreme SC, that's the Scout Crafter model here. But this particular one, it's all stainless steel. It's very much like the pressure sprayers that you use for chemicals, or the plastic ones, but this is all stainless steel and really well made. It has a pressure release valve in case you over pressurize it. It has your quarter turn valve to control the flow. It has I'll show you how this works in a minute. And it comes with a nice hose with a shower nozzle. And over here on this side, it has a temperature gauge. So if you're using the propane or something, you can see there, it'll show you what temperature you have in there, whether it's cool, hot, or danger. You don't want to go over 110 degrees. But I've taken some really nice hot showers, and with this filled up, you get a good 10-minute shower easy, and it's more than enough. And after 5 minutes, you might have to repressurize it, and I'll show you how to do that. But it's just such a beautiful unit, and it saves. I mean, in the wintertime, one time my furnace went down. I was waiting for the guy, and this was great. This is a perfect now unit. To fill up the unit, you take the handle like this and you turn it. There's only a quarter turn that locks it in, and it's got this nice stainless pump here. And you can see I got a little water in here because I was just using it, but it's got a nice rubber gasket. And when you unlock it here, there's a little lock here. This is how you pump it up. Sounds like a bicycle pump. And let me pressurize it and show you what kind of pressure. I put about a gallon of water in there. I'm going to show you what it takes to pressurize it. It only says to give it about 15 pumps. Give it a quarter turn to the left, and there we go, 15 pumps. And they also say to put a drop of oil on the shaft. And what I do is I use my 50/50 mineral oil and the Vaseline. That works fantastic. Now I'm going to show you what kind of pressure you get out of the hose. We have the hose. I'm going to put it on. Now I'm only putting it on. This is about, it has to travel through the hose. But now you can see here what kind of pressure. Now this is full pressure. And you can see you get a nice stream of water here. And it's obviously any temperature you want. Works really well, and obviously you're not going to use this. What I do is I tie it up higher and let it flow a little bit down. But you would shower you soap up, and you could turn it off while you're soaping up and whatnot, and then you could turn it back on to rinse. But it works really well. I really like it. And when it starts to lose a little pressure, you could lean out of the bathtub, give it another few pumps, and like I said, you'll get this for 10 minutes. Now, if you've ever been camping before, two things that are really nice, really makes you feel good, is a nice hot shower, and also a nice place that you can go to the bathroom without having to dig a hole, a cat hole. Anyway, this ZODI, I like it. Just wanted to show you that's something good to have. I know this is kind of an unusual video, but everything's still a mess here. Then I found out that little Teddy, turns out he's not an orphan after all. He's got 3 siblings that I found, but he, the mother's still taking care of them. Apparently she's moving them around and Teddy got left behind. But I got to do something. I got to give them away or something. So I can't have too many around here. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you have a nice day. Take care now. Okay, bye-bye. There are the high tension wires and...